When most people think about the history of sports, they think of the Olympics, that millennia-old institution started by the Greeks that continues to thrive. Well, the Olympics were held from 776 BCE to 393 CE, but then abandoned for centuries. The Games were revived in 1896 because, as we know, the global public falls for reboots and remakes. But you might be surprised to know, or maybe you won't, I don't know your life, that the Olympics were not the first organized sports tournament ever. If we really want to think about the history of sports, we have to go further back. Way back. The Atlantic claims that the earliest sport in history was spear throwing, played by hunters and originating around 70,000 BCE. I don't know about you, but that seems like taking a dig at our ancestors. I mean, they didn't play with their legs until after they started building spears? I may be the odd one out, but running seems like the OG game. But since the spear throwing thing is mostly speculation, I'd wager that they would have run competitively, since running is a key part of hunting. I mean, if their sole plan was to stay in one place and lure prey into the firing range of their projectiles, they really were quite dumb. Now, there's a lot of things that can be called games, but they are not competitive. A historical example of this can be the ancient drawings of swimming found in the Libyan desert that can be dated to some 6,000 years ago. These drawings show people swimming, but there is no way to know if they're competing against each other. Competition is a different thing altogether, and when we talk about competition, we have to go back 15,000 years. 15,300 years to be precise. You might have heard of the Lascaux Caves. It's a series of caves found around the Dordogne region of southwestern France. Here, we find a ton of Paleolithic-era cave paintings. From the paintings found here, we know that people were sprinting/running and wrestling as far back as the Upper Paleolithic era. The Upper Paleolithic era lasted from around 50,000 years ago to 12,000 years ago. The two sports we've mentioned can be dated to around 15,300 years ago. But a third sport might be slightly older, archery. But it doesn't count since it is really just an advanced form of spear throwing. Prehistoric people were far more competitive and fierce than their modern counterparts since they didn't have fast food and Netflix. So people in ancient civilizations like Mesopotamia, Egypt, India, and China engaged in various sporting competitions. For instance, the Egyptians started bowling around 3200 BCE. Sumerians probably engaged in boxing, as shown in this old drawing. The sport even became part of the ancient Olympics in the 7th century BCE. The ancient Olympics also had games like javelin throwing and gymnastics. This brings to mind some modern games. So let's take the earliest form of football, or as Americans call it, soccer. Tsuchu, or the OG football, also known as Kuju, was played in ancient China around 2500 BCE. The aim of the Han-era game was to kick the ball into the opponent's net. During the Song Dynasty, goals became obsolete, but the game was still popular. Shifting from one limb accessory to another, let's take a look at the Mesoamerican ball game played around 3,500 years ago. While no one claims that this sport was the earliest form of handball or even basketball, it's pretty close to both. Another similar team sport was polo, which quite possibly emerged in Persia some 2,500 years ago. Different games emerged throughout history and went through various phases of transition, depending on the time and place. Jousting, for example, was a popular sport in medieval Europe. But if you think of melee combat training in ancient history, the spirit of both is quite similar. On the other hand, archery, also quite popular in medieval Europe, remained more or less the same as before. Because, what's there to change? Maybe throw spears, sure, but that's too cliche. As the world started to come together, thanks to European colonizers, a lot of different sports developed unique variants. It was not until the Industrial Revolution, however, that sports started taking their modern form. Contests were commercialized and radio started to promote events. Imagine when the television came around. Advertisers would have been crapping their pants. The post-World War II era saw a consolidation of different forms of games, regulating and giving them their modern shape. I mean, take football. Everyone plays the planet's most popular game under the same rules and regulations, and it makes for interesting competitions on the international level. Isn't that great? We get the World Cup every 4 years with tons of countries arriving at the main stage to compete for the ultimate glory. From the Han Dynasty's Chushu to the violent Greek game of Episkaros, in which players were allowed to use their hands, football went through a number of variations. It was not until 1863 that the game was regulated by the English Football Association, and everyone stuck to the rules because of colonialism. Even so, the game has evolved so much within a century and a half. For example, the offside rule. Despite the efforts of regulatory bodies to ensure that the entire world plays the same games under the same rules, outliers persist. Let's take aim at American football. To any sane mind, it's just rugby with added steps. The added steps being breaks, rest, and extra padding. And with that offensive statement, let us end this video on a high note. Thanks for tuning into History Hub. If you liked this video, leave a like, and for more content like this, subscribe to the channel. If there's anything you'd like us to unravel the history of, let us know in the comments. That's it for now, and we'll see you next time.